Hello my friends. What happens on the ships in Korean waters? How do fishermen bring seafood from the ocean to one of the world's most famous seafood markets? Right now, we are watching how Korean fishermen catch and process millions of tons of seafood. Along the Korean coast, mackerel is caught in large quantities. It is also a familiar food ingredient that is always on people's dining tables. Mackerel fishing varies somewhat by region. For example, the US commercial Atlantic mackerel fishery operates mainly from January to May and is worth around $1.1 million annually. While most cases are in South Korea, the mackerel fishing season lasts from October to March of the following year. At this time, the water temperature increases and mackerel migrate to the West Sea, causing the numbers to increase to their highest levels. This makes it easy to achieve a bumper harvest. In 2022, Korea caught around 151,000 tons of mackerel. On other fishing boats, if the weather is bad or the tide is not favourable, the number of fish caught is limited, but mackerel swim in groups once a day and bring large quantities of themselves to the fishermen. They are concentrated in the waters of Gyeongju and Pohang in the southern South China Sea. 3 to 4 anglers go fishing together, and if there are a lot of mackerel, they can quickly fill the cooler, so the fishing time is a bit short, around 4 to 6 hours. Some fishermen can catch mackerel and enjoy sashimi right there on the boat. Customers always like to process mackerel as soon as possible to keep the fresh taste. So, right after the catch, it is a race against time to the distribution process. The mackerel is stored in the ship's warehouse. This is currently being transferred by crane to the transportation vehicle. This is a wonderful scene. Trucks unload a large quantity of mackerel and workers begin the sorting process. Around 70,000 cartons of mackerel were manually sorted overnight for 8 hours. Mackerel go through a selection process according to size, resulting in different prices and uses. Except for the mackerel that is used immediately, the remaining amount will be packaged and preserved. Since freshness is important, it is packaged at the same time as the auction and goes straight into the freezer. After disemboweling the mackerel and washing it in salt water, it is marinated in a large amount of salt. After about a month, the fish marinade will become clear and then can be used to determine flavour. This is a popular preservation method, and salted mackerel can be used after about 20 days. The Busan Fish Market. This place has turned Busan into a well-known seafood city. Every day, traders trade thousands of dollars worth of fish. Hidden rules and secrets come together in one place to shop for the best seafood products. Here, thousands of tons of mackerel are traded every day. 90% of seafood distributed nationwide is located right here, which is also one of the best fish markets in the world. The fishing industry in South Korea contributes significantly to both domestic economy and the global seafood market. In addition to mackerel, Alaska pollock is also very popular. This fish is found widely around the Korean peninsula. Fishermen mainly use large-scale trawl fishing methods, including midline and bottom trawls. This method is effective in catching large quantities, especially in deeper waters where the pollock reside. In 2023, South Korea's pollock catch was reported to be around 321,000 pounds. Pollock fishing occurs in both domestic waters, such as the South China Sea, and in international waters, including the Bering Sea. This is also a popular pollock fishing area in the US. In 2023, the total value of commercial fishing in the Bering Sea and the Gulf of Alaska will reach $383 million US. To sustainably manage pollock stocks, the Korean government enforces strict regulations. These include total allowable catch limits, seasonal closures, and fishing gear restrictions to minimize impacts on pollock populations. Pollock is an important commodity for the Korean economy. It is processed into various products such as surimi and fish fillets. This industry not only deserves domestic consumption, but also has a significant export volume, contributing well to the national economy. This is where they get their unique flavour through a unique freeze-drying process. Once caught, the pollock is cleaned and prepared before being hung like this. From 40 to 90 days in a cold, windy outdoor environment, the pollock slowly dries. It freezes at night and then thaws during the day. This happens every day, and after many contractions and expansions, this meat will have a rich flavour. The pollock fishing industry in Korea faces a number of challenges. Pollock populations have declined due to environmental changes, overfishing, and natural predation. These fluctuations pose a significant challenge in maintaining stable catch levels. Korean fishermen must compete with fleets from other countries, especially in the Bering Sea, which can lead to conflicts over fishing rights and quotas. Next is squid, one of the most stable products of the East Coast fisheries, and one of the most consumed seafood products in Korea. Squid fishing boats go out to sea during the fishing season from May until November. Fishermen prepare ice before going out to sea. For short-term fishing vessels without a refrigeration system on board, ice is the only preservation method. At the same time, it helps fishermen feel secure when fishing in remote fishing grounds. Squids are most attracted to white and green light, so the best time for fishing is at night. The boats arrange super bright lights along the ship and bait to attract eager squids to feed. Fishermen use barbed bait lines underwater, and the squid is hooked and falls into the side of the boat. This is a special feature of squid catching ships. Both sides of the ship are equipped with about 200 high-power light bulbs. Lights hung on shelves are intended to lure squid from the deep sea. At night, when the light bulb is turned on, it stands out among the darkness at sea. The bright light of the squid fishing boat can be seen with the naked eye more than 100 miles away at sea. This makes finding the squid easy. When the time is right, dozens of fishing lines are released into the water under the bright lights, each line carrying a specialized squid hook. When a squid gets caught on the fishing line, the reel automatically flips it onto the metal rack. Baskets are placed here to catch all of the falling squid. Preserving fresh squid after catching it is the deciding factor in whether the squid is delicious or not. The first 20 minutes after catching is the golden time for preservation. The number of hooked squids follows the line and falls. Fishermen will wash them and then put them in ice boxes in order to maintain freshness and their eye-catching colours. When the ship finally docks, the squid is delivered to the customer within 24 hours of being caught. For ships at sea for many days, the squid will be frozen into blocks to ensure quality. After fresh squid is caught, they follow the conveyor belt right into the ship's hold. Fishermen will arrange them in trays like this. After that, these squid trays are put into frozen storage. Squid fishing using fishing rigs and LED lights is one of the methods that has little impact on the marine environment. Compared to pollock, the bycatch rate during the squid fishing season is very low. This is because only squid attack these special jigs. This keeps the bycatch rate low. Additionally, shrimp fishing is also an important part of Korea's maritime economy. They use advanced fishing methods in order to efficiently and sustainably harvest. Bottom trawling is a method mainly used by Korean shrimp fishermen. The fishermen cast trawl nets along the seabed in order to catch the shrimp. This method is popular when harvesting large quantities of shrimp and is commonly used in both coastal and offshore waters. Fishermen drag the nets through the water column at different depths. This method may be useful in targeting shrimp species that do not live directly on the seabed. However, trawls are used selectively, depending on the species of shrimp and their behaviour. Modern shrimp vessels are equipped with advanced technologies such as sonar and GPS to help locate shrimp populations more effectively. These technologies help fishermen optimize catches while reducing time spent at sea. The southern coast of Korea, including the waters surrounding Jeju Island, is known for its diverse marine life and rich shrimp population. The combination of warm ocean currents and diverse underwater terrain make this area ideal for shrimping. According to the latest statistics, Korea's total shrimp catch in 2023 was up to around 50,000 tons. Similar to fish or squid, shrimp fishing is also banned during specific periods of time in order to allow shrimp populations to recover and reproduce. The fishing industry creates additional jobs at processing plants where shrimp are processed for both domestic and export consumption. Korean shrimp are popular in the international market, especially in Japan, the United States, and in the European countries. Off the coast of America, a magical world where billions of shrimp are waiting to be discovered and harvested. Shrimp fishing is not only an important part of the seafood industry, but also an indispensable part of local culture and life. Right now, we will follow American fishermen to learn about their adventurous journey and how they catch billions of shrimp. On the Atlantic coast of the United States, shrimp are mainly found in the waters off Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts. They live on soft, muddy bottoms in waters about 30 to 1,000 feet deep. Shrimp move with seasonal water temperature changes. They are only common in inshore waters in late winter and spring when the waters are coldest. Female shrimp carrying eggs move to shore in late fall. Around February to April, after the eggs hatch, the female crawfish return to offshore waters in the western Gulf of Maine. The average American consumes 4.1 pounds of shrimp each year. But how to catch those delicious shrimps? In fact, the shrimp you eat at a restaurant comes from many different sources. Although all are local shrimp, the way they are caught may vary. The first type is shrimp caught on small boats using round nets and released into the sea. In this case, coastal fishermen can only catch shrimp near the shore or estuary areas. Depending on economic conditions, fishermen will equip appropriate boats, support equipment and fishing tools. The fishermen on this small boat are casting their nets. You can see that the size of the catch will be proportional to the amount of shrimp they collect. Of course, the number cannot be as large as the large boats. The second type is shrimp caught by shrimp trawl nets. Fishermen have to go by boat for about 3 weeks and catch shrimp at sea. Shrimp is processed on board and quickly frozen in batches. A common portion of shrimp in this form will include 4 pounds of frozen shrimp, which are selected by the fishermen by size. If these shrimp are not harvested, processed and eaten, they will die or be consumed by larger fish in the wild. But shrimp is an annual and sustainable seafood. A new crop of shrimp will grow and be ready for harvest. Each year, billions of shrimp are caught off American shores. From the Gulf to the white sand beaches of Florida, fishermen use modern means such as fishing boats and shrimp trawl nets to harvest. This process not only provides a significant supply of shrimp for the domestic market, but also contributes to the US shrimp export industry around the world. The main feature of this type of fishing is the trawl net. A large specialized net sinks to the bottom of the ocean and is pulled behind the fishing boat. The shape of the trawl is similar to a flattened cone, with a wide front allowing for a wide range of fishing. The bottom of the net is attached with heavy objects. The top is attached with a buoy, helping the upper part of the net to be raised to catch shrimp. While the net glides gently across the ocean floor, the chain pushes the shrimp off the bottom to make it easier to catch. The cone-shaped structure of the trawl forces the shrimp downward until it reaches the bag. After that, the net is pulled in by the boat's strong workers. Shrimp are stocked on the ship's deck for ease of sorting and processing. In the United States, shrimp fishing is second only to crab fishing in importance. In the northern regions of the country, cold water shrimp are the target, while warm water shrimp species are targeted by fishermen along the southeast Atlantic coast and the Gulf of Mexico. Detecting shrimp on the bottom is always impossible because they lack bubbles that ultrasound can detect. In some cases, fishermen had to pull nets blindly and wait for luck. Many ships have also installed shrimp detection systems. The sensor is tightly attached to the net to help reduce bycatch. The sensor picks up the sound of the shrimp hitting the net and transmits the signal to the cockpit. At this time, the screen displays blue water lines and turns red. High fuel costs, labor shortages, and an influx of cheap imports have made shrimp fishing a less viable proposition. Some locals say overfishing and environmental factors such as climate change have also led to a decline in seafood numbers. This makes it even more difficult to get a good shipment. More than 2 million pounds of whole head shrimp are harvested annually by a fleet of more than 200 boats along the Georgia coast. Licensed shrimp trawlers perform most commercial shrimp harvesting in Georgia. The fleet consists of fishing boats or vessels ranging from 55 feet to 75 feet in length. They fished for shrimp from the shore as far as 8 miles offshore. When American fishermen go out to catch shrimp, they often have to prepare for a journey lasting several weeks at sea. The boats pulled up to 4 otter trawl nets, with lines at the ends of the nets up to 55 feet long. The wooden door acts as a path to drag and drop the net underwater. The normal trawling speed of these boats is 2 knots, or less than 3 miles per hour. Typically, blue or yellow lights are used at night to attract shrimp and aid visibility. This is a very popular tool for catching shrimp. Pulling nets is wet, muddy, and tiring work, but it is also an attractive job if you can harvest a good batch of shrimp. For shrimp to develop into one of the world's most popular foods required the simultaneous development of otter nets and the internal combustion engine. Just a small team of fishermen can quickly lift heavy nets onto the ship and unload them. Fishermen can now explore new fishing grounds thanks to the development of technology. Besides, fishermen can deploy trawl nets in deeper waters offshore and even in icy areas. Today, fishermen are extremely concerned about maintaining the environment and shrimp fisheries because their livelihood depends on it. Bycatch is also a particular concern. Fishermen use equipment that creates a hole in the net, allowing large fish to exit through the opening. Besides, the small holes also open and allow small fish to swim out of the net. For 25 minutes, giant nets will be lowered to a depth of 300 to 500 meters. 6 hours later, it was time to pull the net. The moment all fishermen have been waiting for. Everyone focuses on doing their job well, because even a small mistake can put them in danger. Collecting 4 tons of shrimp, the boat compartment began to be filled. Each trawl is 6 hours apart, and each day this boat will catch a total of 32 tons of shrimp. After being brought on board, the shrimp will be initially treated to remove algae and other impurities. This is usually done by placing the shrimp in tanks containing filtered water to remove impurities. After being cleaned, shrimp will be stored in large tanks on the ship. Some fishermen choose to boil them before preserving them. To ensure shrimp is kept cold and fresh, fishermen often use refrigeration systems or ice to maintain appropriate temperatures. When the ship has harvested enough shrimp and returned to port, the shrimp will be processed and prepared for market. Shrimp can be packaged in ice boxes to maintain quality and freshness during transportation. Once prepared, shrimp will be transported to seaports and shrimp processing factories. From there, they will be distributed to domestic and international markets through marketing and distribution channels.